So, according to the BBC and obviously many other sources, Donald Trump can stay on the presidential ballot, U.S. Supreme Court rules. The U.S. Supreme Court has overruled Colorado's decision to bar Donald Trump from his presidential primary ballot. Colorado's top court removed the former president from its ballot in December, citing the 14th Amendment's ban on insurrectionists running for office. The ruling applies to the 14th Amendment push nationwide, impacting similar rulings in Maine and Illinois. It means that Trump can run in the primary on Tuesday, when he could all but seal the Republican nomination. And honestly, I'm really torn about it. Because, Trump is awful. Trump is a fascist. Trump is, XYZ. But the fear remains that if they did kick him off the ballot, then Republicans are going to retaliate by kicking the Democratic president off every ballot. They don't actually need proof. Look at what they're doing to Alexander Mayorkas. Who's going to stop them, right? Especially since they have a 6-3 majority on the Supreme Court. However, at the same time, it doesn't really matter whether Democrats or, people who don't want Trump to be president, which, by the way, the lawsuit was begun by a 90-plus-year-old lifelong Republican woman. So, they're still going to be like, oh my God, it's a partisan witch hunt. But as with Alexander Mayorkas, as with Merrick Garland, etc., it doesn't matter if Democrats start that push. When Republicans decide that they want to change precedent or ignore precedent or change the rules so that they can do whatever they want, they're just going to do it. And the fact that even the idea of taking Trump off the ballot was introduced doesn't mean that Republicans aren't going to try it, even though, again, the 6-3 Republican majority Supreme Court agreed with them. So I don't know, man. It definitely feels like we're pretty fucked as far as the judiciary system saving us. I mean, Trump's case, I believe the Georgia interference one, I don't know, he's under so many indictments right now. I think that's the one where his judge is Eileen Cannon, who is a Trump appointee, who is quite young for a Republican, or for a judge, and who has already multiple times made rulings that fly in the face of precedent, that, legal scholars are like, this doesn't make sense, that she always rules in favor of Trump. So hands down, she's going to once again rule in favor of Trump. The idea that, what kind of country do we live in where a president can appoint a judge and then that judge rules on a case involving the president? How is that not just blatant grounds that they should not be able to preside in that case? How can you possibly argue that the judge is not going to have a existing bias in that case? So anyway, I'm pretty nervous about November. I don't think that any of these courts are going to move fast enough to actually have a chance of indicting Trump before November. And on the off case that they do, I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think he is just going to, obviously, all Republicans are still going to vote for him, even those who answered on the surveys that they wouldn't if he was indicted, that, they're still going to vote for him. Of course, the Republicans. And it's just wild to me that here we are, and I don't want this video to be too long, but let me throw in that I am fucking pissed at Biden. I am so, watermelon emoji, just that whole fucking situation, and I absolutely feel bile in my mouth at the idea of having to vote for, genocide Joe. But Trump is going to be way fucking worse. And if you do not vote for the unfortunately extremely shitty Democratic forerunner, you are voting for Trump. And yeah, just what a fucking year, man. And buckle up, because it's only going to get so much worse.